What's up, guys? It's Sebastian Castillo here. It is my last day here in rainy Bogota, Colombia. Here's the Airbnb, and you can see a little view from outside. Tall buildings, right in the city center. Guys, some of you may know who've been watching this channel. I make these videos because I want other guys to avoid major mistakes, wasting their time, wasting their money, wasting their sanity on people who don't treat them well, and on experiences that you can do without. So, story time. Today I went on another date. I met this girl, Colombian girl, back in the beginning of February, and didn't really think anything of her. In fact, I had approached her in person with a friend of mine in the park and got her Instagram, never really talked very much. And then, as I came here a couple of days ago, I wrote to her, I let her know, hey, I'm gonna be back here, how you been? And because she's decent looking, and I thought maybe we can get together and I can make something happen. And so we were talking back and forth, the conversation kind of ended, and then a few days ago, she reached out again and told me that she would be free today. I said, all right, cool, let's go out. And she said, yeah, sure, let's have lunch. Red flag number one, I don't care what anyone says. Do not waste your money and your time going out to lunch or dinner with a girl who you have not done anything with. Do not. And it's not that I don't have the money. I'm doing way better than I ever have before financially. I would still not, it's about the principle. I'm not going to waste my money, my hard-earned money, on some woman who is not guaranteed to give me what I really want. And let's not kid ourselves. As men, when we're talking to a woman, when we're going out with her, we do want one thing. There's a lot of guys out there who say, oh, well, you should be out there because you actually like her and you enjoy talking to her and so on and so forth. I'm not afraid to admit that for the vast majority of women that I speak to, I do not enjoy talking to them. I do not enjoy being there, having to listen to their bullshit. I would rather not. I would rather just sit back at home and just read a book or listen to some music, or just do something fun, right? I'm not just gonna subject myself to, all this from a woman who I couldn't care less about. I just wanna get my rocks off. The only thing I like is what she's got in front of her. And that's what most women have to offer, just to be very, very clear. Now, some of you might disagree. You can unsubscribe, you can get off this channel, I don't really care. And I'm not talking to you your kind of people. So today, red flag number one, I agreed to lunch. Shouldn't have done that. Always drinks. Secondly, she told me I'm going to be getting out of school at 1 o'clock at the university. I asked her which school. This one. Great. So I take an Uber and I arrive there at 1. She's late. She doesn't come out until 1:15 or so. So another strike against her, not respecting my time. When she showed up, finally, kind of mumbles an apology, if even that. But worse, and this is red flag number 3, the flag that I should have just dipped out on. She showed up in sweatpants and sneakers, makeup barely done. So a very indirect, no, actually quite a direct way of telling me that and demonstrating that she did not care about making a good impression on me. If a woman shows up on a date with you as a man and she has not done herself up, doesn't mean she's getting ready to go out to fucking Broadway or anything, but she's put some effort clearly into looking good for you because she knew ahead of time that she's going to be meeting you. Don't even bother. Do not even bother. This woman clearly doesn't care about putting her best foot forward and making a good impression on you. It's not fair, especially if you're showing up on a date, you showered, you shaved. You can always make the argument that, oh yeah, women have to put so much more effort into their appearance. No, before a date, you as a man, you're putting some effort in too. You're grooming yourself, you're getting your clothes cleaned, ironed, wearing them, you're going to the gym, you're working to make money, you're doing your hair, whatever it is. And she doesn't respect that clearly when she shows up in fucking sweatpants, okay? Red flag number 4, Uber comes, we get in, I'm chit-chatting with her a little bit, and I make a little bit of low-key sexual innuendo, a little bit of flirting. Now, you can argue that she might not have been into it because there's a driver right there, and we're speaking in Spanish, so he understands everything, okay? But when I said those things, she kind of cringed, or she obviously was not expressing desire or that she was into it. If you are flirting with a girl and she doesn't flirt back, and even worse, she kind of gives you the impression that the idea of doing anything sexual with you would be undesirable, cut her. Cut her. Cut that bitch right now. Okay? And then the final nail in the coffin, which is completely my fault, was choosing a place and ordering a bunch of food and having, it wasn't ridiculously expensive, but $50 for the two of us here in Colombia, that's too much. That's too much, especially for a first date. For a girl you're already seeing and that you're already quite intimate with, fine, do whatever you want. But this girl, she didn't deserve a $50 lunch. That's what she makes in like 4 to 5 days. Maybe less. She said she makes about $1,000 a month. So it's, 2 or 3 days of work for her, approximately. Anyways, after that, and believe me guys, I hesitated about uploading this. It's not endearing to me. It's not showing myself in the best light, but I'm prepared to be vulnerable. I'm prepared to show this side of my life and my experiences, because a lot of guys only talk about the highlights. They only talk about the good stuff, and they want to give you the impression that they're Mr. Perfect and that everything always goes well for me. Things don't really go well for me that much, especially in dating. Not these days, not like they should be. But I think there's value in me sharing these things, so again, you guys don't make the same mistakes and you know exactly what to look out for. Not showing up at her best, disqualified. Being late, disqualified. And being late without an apology, disqualified. Suggesting going out to eat, low-key taking advantage of you, using you to fucking pay for her shit. No, disqualified. The nail in the coffin here was the bill came, I paid it, and I took her out to, of course, I wanted to take her home. And then she gave me this spiel, as some of them do. Oh, I don't go home with strangers on the first date or whatever the fuck it is. And it's just like, it's insulting. It's insulting. Now you guys can argue like, oh my God, you're expecting too much. Who do you think you are? You're not Brad Pitt. You're not Drake, whatever it is. Girls go home with guys after knowing them for 20 minutes. You know? And if it's never happened to you, then of course it's going to be hard for you to believe, but this happens all the freaking time. You don't need to be a celebrity. You don't need to be rich to be able to get that kind of treatment from them. So that's bullshit. I've had plenty of experiences where, whether it was drinks or a bottle of water, right? I did not have to spend a lot of money in many cases to go out and make something happen. Where we went right to my house because she wanted me, because it is an equal exchange. But for some reason, well, no, not some reason. There are reasons and we can get into them. But in the modern day, especially, you know, it should be an equal exchange. I give you sex, you give me sex. And no. Women leverage it because, okay, I am not going to give you sex unless you give me this, and this, and this, and this. Right? And of course, we can pick that apart. But the nail in the coffin here was we went out to her Uber after she declined to go home with me after I mentioned it a couple of times. And then she wouldn't even give me a kiss on the lips. Okay? Embarrassing, frustrating, demoralizing, and I'm still thinking about it right now, even 2 hours after the date concluded. Some of you might be saying, well, you're overthinking it, blah, 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 just move on. When you go out on your first couple of dates, your first 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 dates, and something like this happens, fine, it's a learning experience. But when you've dated quite a few women, and this happens over and over and over and over again, and you're spending your money, spending your time, you start to really get bitter about this kind of thing. You really start to look at females and think to yourself, what the fuck do you have to offer me? What the fuck am I doing this for you for? Just like, so you can treat me like I'm beneath you. So you can treat me low key like I'm, and you can make the argument, of course, at the end of the day that it's the man's fault. No one's holding a gun to your head as a guy telling you that you have to go to this restaurant, you have to pay this bill, you have to treat her like this and so forth, right? But the dating market is such that, and again, I'm open to being proven wrong. None of us, not me, not you, not anyone, no guy goes out there, starts talking to a woman, hoping and thinking to himself, gee, I really hope that she takes advantage of me. I hope she wastes my time. I hope she wastes my money. I hope she doesn't see me as a sexual option. I hope she treats me as someone beneath her. None of us do that. So none of our behavior that may indirectly lead to those kinds of outcomes is intentional, right? Most of us, the vast majority of us, are not taught any of this stuff growing up. We have to learn the hard way. If you didn't have an older brother or an uncle or a dad or some kind of figure in your life who liked you and cared enough about you to take the time to show you all this stuff so you wouldn't have to make these mistakes, then, life could be a lot better. But it's not. It's not. So, again, just to wrap up, don't let it get to you. It's probably the most important thing. And I think this is an overarching message in a lot of my videos so far. No matter what happens in reality, no matter what kind of message is sent to you, right? Like a woman going out with you and treating you like this, not showing up at her best, obviously not valuing your time and your attention the way that she should. She should be getting excited to be around you, right? Why would you settle for anything less? She should be happy and passionate. She should be touching you. She should be staring at you. She should truly want to be with you. And that includes being sexual. It's not taboo. It's perfectly normal. Why would you want to subject yourself to a relationship with a woman who's not going to fulfill your needs sexually? That's what you want to do with her, right? And you might actually like her as a person and so on and so forth. But the baseline foundation of any relationship is going to be the sexual component, whether you like it or not, no matter how liberal or conservative you are, okay? When you experience things like these, but take it from me, it's very, very hard not to let it get to you, not to take it personally, not to feel like, wow, another one treated me like this. I really must not have value as a man. I must be worthless. I must not be good looking enough. I must be this and this and this, or I must not be enough of this and this and this. It is so easy to fall into this trap and feel like this, but you got to keep your head up. You got to keep going out there, or you take time away from it and just focus on other things. Relax and don't even give them any attention. They don't deserve it. They clearly don't deserve it. Most women do not deserve the attention that they're getting from men. Absolutely not. If you're a guy who's accomplished, if you're a guy who is making good money, and maybe these are superficial qualities, but objectively they are important. If you're a man who's making good money, if you're a man who's got a good setup for making that money, you're not just trapped in freaking Timbuktu making $4 or $5 grand a month, but you can move around. You're making money on the internet. If you're fit, if you got a great sense of style, if you're a good conversationalist, if you're funny, if you're masculine, if you were confident, all of these positive traits, if they're still treating you any less than how you know you should be treated, not asking for anything unreasonable, right? You're not asking for her to get on her knees and give you a foot massage in the middle of the street, right? You're not asking her to pay the bill. You're simply asking her to actually put some effort into caring about making a good impression on you, right? Showing up on time, like bare fucking minimum shit, showing some degree of sexual interest in you. If she's not doing those things, don't waste your time. That's all I have to say.